Year 1141. The Procession to the Tree. A holy day is coming, a day when the entire empire thanks the twins for the silver tree, the sign they left behind as a reminder of their eternal presence in this world. This momentous occasion is especially important for Anazote, but the clergy cannot agree on how best to celebrate it. Father Lennart has called for all worshippers of the twins to approach the Temple of the Silver Tree and kneel before the sacred relic. But the old clergy balks at the idea of Lennart and the new believers leading the ritual. The day has come. An immense crowd is moving in a procession towards the temple near the Silver Tree, where Father Lennart awaits. But an inquisitor by the name of Gian stands in their way. She strikes a defiant pose. Confronted by a member of the Holy Order of the Inquisition, the procession reluctantly stops.
People, turn back! Those who attend Lennart's rite will succumb to the new faith. Those who reject the lots will defy their divine design. You're about to bring the wrath of the gods upon us all. Open your eyes. Go back to your homes and pray to the twins.
The procession wants to move, but the people are confused, until Father Lennart himself walks out of the temple to meet Gian face to face.
People of Anazote, no one has the right to deny you the sacred ritual of worshipping at the tree. Not even the Inquisition. Is such a denial not more likely to provoke the wrath of the twins? The Inquisition must know that the new faith does not seek to challenge or defy the twins. We are merely trying to correct the mistakes of those who came before us. We do not anger the twins. We merely vex those who refuse to accept the dawn of a new age.
Gian finds herself between a rock and a hard place. Seeing that she has no other choice, she lets the procession pass. The new faith's numbers have swelled of late. It cannot be stopped now. We're in schism territory of the church. Good to know. The Festival of the Silver Tree. Today is an important holiday. The entire empire is celebrating the Festival of the Silver Tree, which commemorates the parting gift of the twin gods, the divine sapling they planted in our mortal world in the middle of Anazote. The families of the city spend the day in peace and quiet, contemplating the divine roots that join together all people, their bloodlines, and the entire empire. It really is a massive tree. Sheesh. Mother always oversees this holiday. The day before the festival, she seemed to have shaken off her usual apathy and engaged in the preparations with excitement. It was as though her illness has loosened its grip. Mother gathers the entire family for the holiday meal. Father's in high spirits today, sharing jokes with you and Nathan. Stefan is trying to suppress an atypical agitation. Gloria is the last to join you at the table. She's wearing new breeches with high stockings and a yellow vest.
Gloria, you're wearing men's clothes again? No, Mother, I'm wearing clothes women are forbidden to wear.
Father gives Gloria a stern look. Stefan rolls his eyes but says nothing. Suddenly, Nathan speaks up.
A few days ago, in the market, I saw a grocer dressed as Overseer Guy's Tempest. He had a huge card for a scepter. He got us sound dubbing, of course, but until then, it was quite a hoot.
Everybody laughs at the ridiculous story, relieved. Even Gloria has a smile on her face when she sits down. The feast commences. Your home finally feels warm for a moment.
It wasn't so long ago. The four of you couldn't even ever reach up to this table. The first word you said, Gloria, was, "Gimme." Nathan used to cling to my skirt all the time, almost tearing it. And you, Brian, you couldn't talk at all yet, but your piercing stare was so expressive. Felt as if you were talking to me.
Mother looks at Stefan and suddenly grows quiet.
When I met Stefan, he was already 3 years old. He was so serious and a smooth talker to boot. I remember that he had a music teacher but he was too shy to play in front of me, so he used to listen from the next room.
Stefan's face twitches. Your elder brother rises and moves to the old harpsichord. His fingers fly gracefully over the keys. A melody fills the house, melancholy and sweet. The last note lingers in the air. Then silence falls. The family is awestruck. Words fail you all.
Who wrote that? A nobleman from the capital between drinking a glass of wine and beating a servant?
Your sister's cutting remark puts an end to the warm, cozy atmosphere. Stefan calmly turns to face her.
No, it was I who composed this piece of music. It is called Mother.
Mother rises to her feet. She would have needed help to do this just recently, but now she treads unassisted towards Stefan and draws him close. Stefan puts his arms around his stepmother's waist, then detaches himself awkwardly.
May the twin gods bless you, Lydia.
Gloria considers the scene with thinly veiled fury in her eyes.
Of course, hybrid nobles like Stefan are made for the arts. They're the only ones lucky enough to have a soul and experience inspiration. Unlike us, the lowborn, we aren't supposed to feel anything but suffering, let alone express it in poetry.
Everyone notices that Gloria is clutching pages filled with writing. Her poems. Your sister casts a mournful glace? Maybe that's supposed to be glare, I'm not sure. At the family, and her eyes rest on you. Let's see, I can't appeal to Mother. Why? Because I don't have a good enough relationship. Well, that's sad. I could interrupt Gloria, which, obviously she wouldn't like. Stefan would appreciate it, and the unity would go down. Okay, unity goes down regardless. Wonderful. So this is just a do you like Stefan or Gloria better thing. You know what? I mean, Stefan just got his chance to show Mother his appreciation with his artistic endeavors. I see no reason not to allow Gloria the same privilege. Let Gloria read her poems. And if only I had a better relationship with my mother. Oh well. Gloria, go ahead. You rise from your seat and speak. In your speech, you wholeheartedly support your sister. Gloria had the misfortune to be born a commoner, but she's still entitled to express her feeling. Why is Stefan the only one who has the right to delight Mother with his creations? Every member of our family should be equal.
But what about her lot, son? Gloria is permitting herself to practice a noble activity, thus breaching the divine order.
You softly explain to Mother that times have changed. Nowadays, art isn't just a pleasure for the nobles, it's also a trade, plied by many commoners. More and more low-born tradespeople are taking up the pen and ink rather than the hammer. This is now their labor and their suffering. Mother lets out a heavy sigh, but yields to the onslaught of your inspired speech. Emboldened by your sport, Gloria steps into the center of the room. Her eyes are fixed on Father.
A stranger and a bastard I am called. I am, but still I long for you to say that I am yours, and melt the icy cold that burns within my heart both night and day. My mother and my brothers all are near, but I feel so cold as though we were apart. Ashamed, yet still compelled to make you hear. I long to hold you closely to my heart. I am a stranger, 'tis my only crime. Forgive me, oh, but mercy is forbidden. I hope you'll see, if not forgiven, in time, my bitter love, both joyous and well hidden.
Father stares at her in bewilderment. Gloria, Stefan springs to his feet and leaves for his chambers, slamming the door behind him.
I don't feel so well. Nathan, son, please help me to my room.
Mother leaves the room, leaning on Nathan's arm. The celebration is cut short. Yeah, that darn Unity. A rendezvous with Octavia. Ah, okay. Good to know. Octavia and you do not see each other very often. Sometimes, as the days wear on, you forget about your unusual liaison. But then the Archduke's daughter bursts into your life and you abandon yourselves to passion until she disappears again. Today, Octavia is waiting for you at her summer home in the city. It is a cozy little villa, well concealed from prying eyes by a high fence. Beyond the fence is a glorious garden. You have never seen one so beautiful in Magra. Octavia meets you on the veranda. She is wearing a light white frock that leaves her shoulders exposed. Her black hair cascades down her back. You bow to Lady Melanidas. She grins and draws you toward her so that you sit down by her side. The sun is melting beyond the horizon. Octavia commands her servants to leave you alone. Tonight she is strangely pensive, barely touching her food and drink. You cautiously inquire if anything is amiss.
Listen to me, Brian. I am at a crossroads. My father, the Archduke, is planning to send me out of Magra for a while. Apparently, in his opinion, my escapades are bound to cause trouble for our family.
Octavia stands up, towering above you. Her eyes burn with a menacing flame.
I am the daughter of the great family of Melanidas, an Arcanian born at the peak of the world. All shall tremble before me. Isn't that so, Brian Brante?
But before you can reply, Octavia abruptly lowers her head downhearted.
I am not free. Just like you, my dear human, Brante. I have a duty to my family, to my blood tide, to the Empire. My whole life, all I've ever done is fulfill obligations created by others. I have no aspirations. Everything is preordained. What the world is like, how I ought to live. What my father doesn't decide for me, those who two up on the peak of the shining pillar already have. I'm looking for a way out of this cage. It must exist. I study history, but all I find are tidbits of lost knowledge. But I believe that I'm not the first to try to escape the chains of this world. What am I to do, Brian? You yearn to break free of the fetters of fate just as I do. You have escaped the commoner's lot and joined the higher estates. But your new lot is just as much of a prison, isn't it? Could it really be that none of us will ever be free?
Octavia looks into your eyes dolefully. You've never seen her so helpless before. Okay, let's see. Can I ask for assistance? Actually, we can't because... Not my patron, apparently. That's fine. It's not as if I needed more career and reputation stuff. Let's see. Losing self in pleasure would give some willpower. Let's see what our other options are. Okay, I can share a revelation that'd give me more eloquence and willpower. Okay, from the insights. And death. Interesting. Or inquire about this arcane knowledge. More theology. So in either case, I get more willpower. Which is actually quite nice, honestly. In this case, I'll also get, Octavia will like me more if I inquire about this arcane knowledge. And then the main difference is theology versus eloquence, neither of which are super important to what I'm doing with my life. I kind of want to know about the lost knowledge she's been seeking, honestly. You carefully inquire about the lost knowledge Octavia is speaking of. What is she trying to find in these ancient manuscripts? Octavia responds with a playful smile. She takes your hand and leads you into her chambers. There, under the flickering candlelight, she covers you with a semi-transparent, gold-colored veil. Then she puts a mysterious mask of the same color over your face.
Don't speak. You'll understand. Let me in.
Octavia entwines her fingers with yours and starts singing. You've never heard this language before. The song is a slow, inhuman drawl. At first, nothing happens. You listen to Octavia's song, watching the glimmer of the candlelight on her face and the walls of the chamber. Everything is gently shifting.
And when she cometh near, fear not, but hasten not toward her.
Octavia's lips are not moving. The words seem to take shape inside your head by themselves. The skin of your limbs has taken on a different hue. Now it is blue, like that of the Arcanians? Who's sitting opposite you? Octavia? Yourself? You cannot tell anymore. Everything has become one. The world fades away and shatters. Your bodies, the walls, the rooms, the buildings, the city, everything grows pale and dissolves into the light. All of it, the lots, the empire, the twin gods themselves, is but a dream. And you have wandered through this dream all your life. You come to your senses in the dead of night in Lady Melanidas' bed. She's lying beside you, asleep, naked, her black hair spilled across the pillow. You run your trembling fingers over her skin. Octavia is sleeping soundly. What just happened? Did I get drugged? (1142). Year 1142, the Emperor's heirs in danger. News from the capital quickly reaches every corner of the empire. Jarian and Flavius, the heirs to the throne, have left the Emperor's palace for the province of Monia, which is ruled by Great Chancellor Agerius Monrogue. The Great Chancellor has accused the Emperor's court of harboring malefactors, conspiring against the imperial heirs. This is why he has offered them shelter and safety in his own impregnable citadel. The common people are particularly worried by the news. They take it as a sign that the Chancellor is seeking to solidify his power by holding the heirs hostage. If this continues, Monroe could coerce the Emperor into revoking the imperial law, thus depriving the common estate of any and all rights. All hope for reform in the Empire has vanished. From farmer to rich industrialist, the commoners are growing desperate. In your province, the authorities are trying their best to put people at ease. The magistrate of Anazote makes a speech from his balcony to the excited crowd below. Trust in your emperor, good people. The imperial heirs are the future of the Great Tempest dynasty. The emperor has made the wise decision to send them far away from the scheming court. Great Chancellor Monroe will take good care of them and keep them safe. All glory to the empire, all glory to the Tempests. Okay, well, the struggle for power is heating up. Wealth of Magra still keeps going down. Man, we would be in the complete gutter if it weren't for that whole mining project from a while back. Huh? Peacetime ends soon? Really? Examine possible chapter endings to check which way you are headed. To achieve the goal that you've chosen, you have to meet all of the conditions at the end of the chapter, or you die? Okay then, let's alright, what have we got? Autumn has sent us. Alright, what do we need? We need to be protector of the people or have evidence against Autumn. Good thing we are already the protector of the people. Augustin has not been betrayed, so we cannot betray Augustin if we want to get Autumn sentenced. We also need to get justice to 8 or 9. Okay. We're actually not far from that. I think we're at like 7 right now. So we're actually pretty close to this. Autumn faces the Court of Honor. We need our career at 8 or 9. And betray Augustin. And not ban the Court of Honor or brand but with dishonor. And we need either evidence against Auten or patronage of the powerful. So that's not likely. So we could sentence Auten. That seems doable. Knight of the Serpents. We would need a career of 10. And to have made a deal with Remy L. Vermin? And the family to not fall apart. Or there's Broken Chains, which is if the rebellious citizens take control of Anazote. Justice 10. So, what it's looking like to me, if we want Auten sentenced, looks like our two ways out of this is either sentencing Auten or breaking the chains, which requires getting our justice up, essentially. That seems to be the only way we're getting out of this. Okay. So justice is going to be paramount for us. The search for evidence. You're walking up the marble stairs that lead to the doors of the prefecture. The sword of the younger twin, carved from stone, looms above the doors, just as the case of Dorius Auten now looms over you. Preparing the case will take many long months, or even years. The words of Prefect Elborn are evidence enough of that. And time and again, you will ask yourself, are you ready to see this case through to the end? Father meets you at the stairs, and judging by the dour look about him, news of your most recent case has already reached him.
Son, I didn't want to discuss this back home. Elborn is our friend, and I stand by him at all times. But he's dragged you into something that is far too dangerous. I'm not going to repeat your grandfather's mistakes, so I won't tell my son how to live his life or what to do. But I ask you to please consider our family. Would it be worth it to let us come to harm, even if the triumph of justice and law is at stake? There are already rumors at the prefecture. They say you're getting ready to summon a highborn Archne into court. Soon, these rumors will spread beyond the prefecture walls. You and I are both bronze. Perhaps we ought to stay away from something so dangerous. Some battles are too ugly for us to win. You can always slow down the process and bide your time with routine paperwork. Avoid attracting unwanted attention. This way your career and our family honor would not be at risk. Trust me in this, son. Rather than making a selfless sacrifice, we can achieve far more through tireless service for the good of the law.
You promise Father you will consider his words. You say goodbye and return to your office. You are at a crossroads. If you are to make any headway in the case against Auten, you have to start now, while the trail of his misdeeds is still fresh. You have little first-hand knowledge of Auten's criminal wrongdoings, only Thomas's stories and what you have seen for yourself. Turning this case into a trial requires far more evidence than that. Your friend could be the key to the entire case, if he can help you find the other men who have suffered under the remorseless Archnean. But Thomas is a hunted man. He has every reason to lay low and steer clear of the courthouse. If Thomas can put you in touch with other victims and witnesses among the soldiers and officers of the Legion, perhaps you could gather evidence yourself. But the Legion may meet a lone outsider such as you with too much resistance. Things might get ugly. You consider your options. Apart from Thomas, who else could help you gather compelling evidence against the commander? Auten is an Archnean from an ancient dynasty. Anyone involved will hold their tongue no matter what. The way things are right now, not a single soul would risk angering the Autens to aid a middling judge from an unknown family. Unless an even more highborn Archnean chooses to support your cause. Gaius Tempest, the Imperial Overseer of Magra, the Emperor's own brother. Every aristocrat in the province knows he detests Dorius Auten for remaining loyal to Archduke Melanidas. Ensuring the Overseer's support would increase your authority greatly, and give you a chance to gather evidence against Auten without Thomas lifting a finger. But the Imperial Overseer is one step above the Prefect, your immediate superior. You can only address Gaius Tempest directly if you keep it a secret from Elbon. Communicating directly with the Overseer of the province means defying your loyalty to Elborn. Are you willing to do this? Puzzled, you start pacing around your office. It's time to decide how you will begin this case. Depending on what you choose, the case against Auten could lead to your unprecedented success, or end your career, or even your life. Always, worrying when none of the locks unlock, so what are we missing here? Well, okay, Thomas is in hiding, so we can't do anything about this. Oh well. And in this case... What? Wait, I would get death? If I did this? Sheesh. Death seems bad. Where was the destiny? Okay. So sorts of stuff, and we've done like one. To get Auten sentenced, I need to be protector of the people or have evidence against him. I don't need evidence, because I'm already a protector of the people. Therefore, we don't need to die over this. I would love to get a noble by the sword. That would be great. Getting that reputation up would be such a nightmare, though. If only. So much stuff. Kind of crazy. Alright, going back to it. Since I do not need the evidence because I'm already protector of the people, I say we won't waste our time. We'll just, shuffle paperwork around and hopefully, bide our time. Hopefully things just kind of fall in our lap and all is well, and we'll get some willpower out of it even. And some career advancements. Father's rights. There's no reason to risk your well-being and the well-being of your friends and family like this. This way you will not antagonize the aristocracy. With no noble human or Archnian perceiving you as a threat, your career will be secure, and it may even flourish. You will refrain from pursuing Auten for now, and commit only the minimum effort necessary to this case. Without leaving your office, you draw up a detailed list of Auten's potential transgressions, and indicate that acquiring credible evidence for these crimes is currently impossible. The Legion officers who have fallen victim to Auten's sword are unlikely to speak of the duels, anxious as they are to avoid getting challenged again. For many of them, another duel would be their last. The lack of formal complaints from the officers or the families makes inaction even easier. The officers met their death in the line of duty. What else is there to say? You add these conclusions to the thin folder against Auten, then file it away and move on to other cases. One day, Prefect Elborn pays you a visit to see your progress firsthand. Sorry, that first line was too funny. Are you saying you've learned nothing else of note, Brante?
What a pity. The Legion soldiers are not the only ones who fear Commander Auten, it seems. I hoped you would be braver than your father, but this is understandable. A dangerous case like this is nothing but a hindrance to a promising young judge who seeks to advance his career, is it not? Well then, it's Adamsy to say, but so far we lack the evidence to have the commander indicted, especially since he is a highborn Archnian. But this is only the beginning. The situation could change at any time. I see you've put away Auten's case to focus on others. Quite sensible, seeing as we have no alternative right now. If we wanted to have any chance of getting him indicted in court, we need to make the nobles in the province recognize duels as acts of murder. This means defying a tradition of old, a road perilous and seldom traveled. It means enforcing the rule of law over Anazote gentry. For now, Sir Brante, return to your other duties and pay particular attention to any dueling incidents. We'll take our next step against Sir Auten when the time is right. At the end of the day, you run into your father on the way out of the office. As you go down the winding staircase leading to the exit, he gives you a quick hug when no one is looking.
I spoke with Elborn, Brian. He's disappointed in you, but don't take it personally. You chose to avoid the ire of people more powerful than us. You did the right thing. It's much easier for Elborn to get involved in something like this. He's a baron and a noble of the sword. An Arcanian's word won't be enough to have him executed. You, on the other hand, don't have that privilege. You can't bring any hope or justice to this world if you're dead. This case, it's much more serious than it may seem. Even Sir Otton, highborn Arcanian though he is just a pawn in a much larger game. The Brante family would do well to stay off the board entirely.
And the self-preservation, arguably intelligent, but does leave a hole in your heart, you know?